Hello, everybody. Welcome to SketchCraft Digibooks Building Godzilla Digibook, Part 1. Here we go. So, this is the final art that I'm going to build a Digibook for. What is a Digibook? Digibook is a digital tutorial PDF that will include audio commentary with a bunch of high-res images. So, I did a Kickstarter last fall. It was successful, and there was a grip of stretch goals that I honestly didn't even think I would make. So I'm just wrapping that up now. And all the backers get, this PDF and audio commentary. And then there was additional tiers to get the actual PSD files and everything else. So I thought I'd at least show the process for how I do some of this. Now, this particular piece is done in watercolor and digitally painted. You can see the guides here. Let me go ahead and clear these guides. Okay, let me just hide the guides. So this piece of Godzilla is actually drawn and painted traditionally with watercolor. 1 second. It's a little loud. And then the background is photo paint, well, some kit bashing with some Digipaint. So some royalty-free images that I paid for, and then a little bit of blending those all together, and then digitally painting stuff on top of that, and then voila. Some additional texturing I've thrown in here, watercolor drips that I have, sort of give it a feeling of being put on the canvas. Interesting part is this print's 11 by 17, but the original Godzilla was extremely tiny, about the size of a CD case. So cool thing about watercolor is it enlarges gracefully. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get started. Now, the thing about this is when I painted this, I did not intend to make a Digibook or to do any tutorial for this. I just streamed it live on my YouTube channel. So what I have to do is basically download the high-res YouTube video and then export a bunch of screens. So I'm going to show you how I do that. I'll go ahead and minimize Photoshop and close that preview window out. So this is my actual YouTube video. I've gone in and I've downloaded it. It's about 3 gigs. It's 4 hours long. And then what I'm going to go over here, this is VLC. It's a video player for free. You can download it. Then I'm going to go over to Tools, Preferences, and I'm going to go right over to Video. And then here's Video Snapshots. I'm going to take a bunch of snapshots. But what I'm going to do is create a directory for it to put all that in. And I don't want a generic directory. So I'm going to come over here to my Godzilla. And I'll go to the Assets folder. And then I'll just name this VLC. So anytime I hit the snap button, it's going to drop it there. I'll select it. Make sure sequential numbering is chosen so it keeps them all in order. Helps. And then I choose PNG, so no compression. And we'll hit save. And basically, here's a little snapshot button. So I'll go ahead and take one now. And then what I'm going to do is just double check that it's actually sticking them there by going to that folder. You make this mistake. And look, oh, there it is. Great. So I'll just go here. And I'll take another snap of that. I'm just going to jump ahead some frames. Because this isn't going to print, this is a digital book, I can get away with this little process. It's not the most, snapping videos aren't exactly my forte. Now, why do this instead of just doing audio commentary speed video? Well, because I'll be able to get like 100 images and really kind of get into detail in a way a video kind of can't. Plus, you get to hold on stuff. So I'll also be putting all the high-res digital assets and stuff with this too. So you can see it's me drawing Godzilla. Being able to hold on frames, I think, is really helpful. when you're studying and analyzing artists. Speed videos are tough because you get this idea that someone made it like super fast, you know, and it didn't. That was me seeing what the difference between using Crow, Quill, and Copic pen was, and the difference was not much. It was just taking longer. So I stopped using it and went back to the Copics. That was me drawing the arm. Just blocking in those basic details before I inked it. Think about the watercolors, you want to leave kind of open spots. You don't want to overcomplicate the details as much as possible. That was me using the quill. I've stopped using it. It's just kind of pointless with the way I ink. But it's cool. It's just I can move so much more faster with the Copic. So. And you don't have to worry about spilling ink all over your piece when you're using multi-liners. So you can see that took me about an hour to draw on ink. It really wasn't. And that's me going over my pencil shading with coal erase, just to tint the shade a certain color. It helps when you're painting to give it an undercolor without adding tons of paint. So the piece already has some form before I add a drop of watercolor to it. We're doing tests for his skin. And then adding the first shade pass, which is some form of ultramarine. The trick with the sauces are to build the form with the wide brush first, and then once it dries, then start to build all the drips in after. Don't start with drips. Get the form going, get it looking, pretty good without it before you start dripping things down. It's me glazing over a brighter green on top. That's me starting with the splats. And then letting it dry. And see if I actually get me painting his mouth. There we go. And then I use a thin liner brush to do the intricate drips. The dark ones, what I call stainers. You let them sort of just run down the figure like pouring water over a statue. And you start to place in shadows and try to separate some of those little areas from one another, trying to build more form. And then lots more splats. And letting it dry, and then coming in and building areas. Letting it dry. And then I start to add white. That's white calligraphy ink that I'm putting down there. Oh. Yeah, painting that in. That's my old brush. I don't have that brush anymore. It eventually died on me. A little bit of white splatter. And drawn, inked, and painted in 4 hours. Not bad, right? So that leaves me with, let's see how many images I had. Let's go to my Kickstarter folder, Digicraft, print files, Godzilla assets, dev. See, that was 144 snaps right there. So let me go through and just kind of flip through them really quick, and if I see something I don't need, I can just start deleting. Right off the bat, All right, so that'll work. So let's see, properties. That's a total of how many files? 138. Okay, so first things first, I need to come over here, and this is my checklist I like to make. I want to make this for Godzilla. I gotta rename. I just like to copy and paste the last one I did. So I'm still building my development folder. Go to the megabyte. And we'll come over here. And the thing I need to do, what's this? So this is the scanned in stuff, raw. Right there. I'm going to save that as a copy. And then, so I have that. And what next? I don't actually have a landscape cover made. I've kind of been putting that one off. I wonder if I don't even think I started a template for that. So I'm gonna have to make a landscape cover. I don't want to make a landscape cover. I really don't. Well, let's see what I can do. So let's do creative cropping. It's a lot of work. So come to the cover art for Critter. Copy that. Then come over to Godzilla. That thing for a second. Gee, I hope that's been sharing on my YouTube the whole time. Well, I guess we'll find out when I'm done. All right, so let me just rename this. Godzilla. Paste that Godzilla. Then we'll open up the Ultra. And then, yeah, I know certain fonts are amazing. I don't give a shit. So come on over here. Then let me go back to Digicraft. Power prints. That. Back to Kickstarter, Digicraft. And to my Godzilla folder. We'll drop it in there. Do 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 do. This shit takes forever. Okay, cool. Let's open that up. That's the old version. You know, why don't I just save that as a step while we're at it? And then I need the actual fucking art though. So where'd I put it? Tell me I didn't lose it. For the love of God. Stop thinking. Hey, no shit, it's not responding. Come on. I don't have time for this. This is why I say it can just kill time. So you're just sort of sitting here building this stuff. Here we go. Let me turn this stuff off. Then I'm going to take this, flatten it. I'm going to just flatten that. Switch it to CMYK, turn it back to RGB, which makes a difference. Oh, don't even do that. So, okay, and then go ahead and paste Godzilla in there. Let's go ahead and just come over here, disable that mask, fill it with white, mask him back in here. And then my signature. Duplicate that. Okay. So he's good. And then I'm going to save it also as a TIFF. Discard layers, save a copy. And then I'm going to open the TIFF up. And CMYK. Save. And now I'm going to turn this into the low res version. Portable edition. It's just switching colors out, red for blue. And then this needs to be a different color, which is right here. It's a layer style. And then the sticker. There, portable edition. And then we're going to go ahead and save that as cover portable. Boom. Then I'll save a TIFF of that. Uncheck layers. Open that back up. Image mode, CMYK. And save. So, cover's knocked out. Matter of fact, I can't check shit off because my Windows desktop crashed on me. So whatever, let's close that. I don't need that anymore. And then close that. Close Zilla up. New. Open. So fucking annoying. All right. So now, clear guides. Now let's delete this. And then I need to go and actually build this layer up. So first thing I need is my disclaimer page. I will go to Digicraft and grab the last PSD I did. Open. I wish I had that background as a seamless texture already, but For some reason, I deleted that when I was building it. Don't ask why. Does I make those mistakes? And now I need to brush over. The hell's up with that? There, that's better. Take that, duplicate it, Control J, and move this over. And then turn that back on. That's better. Trim that down. Let's try this. There's a clone tool. some reason there's like this thin little line right there. It's the background, stupid. See, I don't know if I like that or if I just prefer that. I think that looks better. So that was for nothing, but it happens. So we can close that, merge that down, rename that this gamer. Image. We'll turn that off, leave that. Is that tools? Yeah. Tint. Now I need to rename these layers because this PSD is going to people who back the PSDs. Quick thing I can do too is just check to make sure there's no empty layers. You can do that in Photoshop by going to scripts, delete all empty layers. Sometimes when you're working, you can create a bunch of empty layers. So Photoshop will automatically scan every layer, make sure it's not empty. Good? It's good. All right. Uh, order. Right. Vignette. Vignette. Oh shit, there's a lot more in that tools folder than I thought. This is the tedious part. Gotta go in every fucking layer. I'm using Fixie a lot, so I'm just gonna call it that word. Texture. Hey, how you spell it? Vertex. Explode. Alrighty. That's the PG. That's Godzilla. Over there. It's hard to figure this out. PG. Tent. Tent. Yeah. Folders within folders. Work very fast, so it's not a lot of time for like serious organization. Enable that kit bash. Dude. Water. I need to see. This is not registering as much as I want. Photo. Yeah, it's a piece of stock photography I got from iStock. I gotta open all these up because I'm gonna have to set it up so when I walk through everything. Okay, so I need to turn off, turn off, turn off, turn off, turn off, turn off, turn off. So that is ready to walk through. So what I'll do is I'll record an audio MP3 walking through the entire PSD for the backers. So gee, that was fun. So let me just save as Digicraft Godzilla. Make a final files folder. Godzilla PSD. Let me copy Godzilla. Ultra folder. Folder. Godzilla PSD. We'll save that in there. Okay. In truth, I need to turn that disclaimer back on and save it again. Let's give it a second to think. Someday. File, save as, save. So that part is, sorry. Still get the cost a little bit when I talk. Oh, is Photoshop gonna crash on me now? Sometimes this Chromecast plugin like just wreaks havoc with Windows. And when it happens, I have to like reboot the whole computer. And I think that just happened. No, maybe not. Okay. So I'm probably gonna have to. Why won't it let me open a file? So weird. So copy my InDesign folder, paste it. I'm gonna have to reboot the computer either way because I have to get to InDesign. We'll see. See if there's a way around. Oh, shice. Let's see if that opens up. InDesign. Oh, look, it does. It's amazing. This is the boring part about being an artist, you know? It's the part no one likes to stream or talk about because it's not fun. Someone has to do it. Where's InDesign? Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and reboot and then start a part 2 on this because Windows crashed on me. All right, so give me a second.